Hello and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. It's now Friday the 28th of August and it's raining, as you can see. It's also the morning. There's a bit of a shock for the system, eh, Mr. Nellis? I'm doing a going to work vlog for a change, just to keep you happy. So yeah, it's been damn hard work this week, to be honest. In fact, I'll be kind of glad when today's over. We've had an incredible surge of orders randomly, and on top of that, I've had staff off, so it's meant extra work for me on top of all the extra work I already had. So that's been quite a trial, to be honest. It's also backed up a load of paperwork again, which is always very frustrating. So, oh, wow, it is particularly grotty today. Because it's bin day, so everyone's bins are out. I've got mine out as well. So yeah, last weekend caught up with some more odds and ends at work. A little back room that was raw, manky concrete that needed finishing with the floor paint, which I have pretty much finished off now. And then, wow, it's horrible. Oh dear, look at it. Nasty weather. Nasty. So I got that finished after what must be nearly 2 years of the front door intercom not working. It suddenly died one day for no apparent reason, and I kind of tried botching together another one that I happen to have, as you do, and that didn't particularly go well because there's many cables in the things, and they weren't exactly the same, so different cables had to go to different places and I couldn't fathom it out. So I'd given up on that. So for 2 years we just relied on someone opening the front door to hear the bing bong, and then you have to go and let them through the next door, which the intercom used to buzz open. It was powered, and then that would sort of release the lock so people could walk in that way. But obviously that died with the intercom. Well, I finally got rid of the old intercom, put on the wall an actual building number sign, 6-8 Wall Street, after only 13 odd years of being there, just so people know that this is our building. And I got one of these Wi-Fi doorbells, video doorbells, not a really fancy one, whatever it is, Ring or whatever the other ones are that are all connected. This was the cheapest one I could find on Amazon, at £27. So I didn't have a great expectation for it being particularly good, to be honest, but I did know it was going to be pretty damn near where the main router is, so it shouldn't have a problem connecting with Wi-Fi. So that turned up, and actually it's not bad. You do need to get some batteries for it, which I didn't notice in the listing. You can hardwire it, but I was trying that with a 12-volt supply. It said 12-volt would do it, and it wasn't running, but I didn't have any batteries at the time, and I don't know if you still have to have batteries in for it to be hardwired or not. Wouldn't make a lot of sense, but... So I got some batteries and a charger, because it's these great big massive things. It's not like your standard sort of battery, got it stuck on outside, and it works actually pretty good. In fact, I used it yesterday. We had someone coming to look at the roasters. It was a bit late, so I'd started roasting, so I was away in the roasting room, but he did ring the doorbell. I got the notification, brought him up in the app, and I was able to talk to him and say, just give me a minute, I'll come and let you in. So result for that, although most people who are used to coming, after 2 years of knowing just open the door and wait for someone because it's gone bing bong when they open the door, just keep opening the door and completely ignore the fact that there's a bell there to use. So, but we'll get there. It's like I say, it's fair enough. It was £27, so what do you expect for £27 of video doorbell? It does the job, and it is kind of handy because it does record, although I had to get a 32GB SD card to put in it as well, just to add on to the costs there, but they're nowadays. But yes, it also records what's happening in front of the door, so quite handy for a security sort of thing. If anyone was trying to get in at any one time, then you'd be able to jog back through it and see what's happening. So I got that set up, and I also reinstigated the buzzer part of the intercom. Got rid of the phone part because that was obviously useless now. But the buzzer itself, I kind of realised all that relies on is a button that connects the 12-volt supply to the actual electromagnet switch that unlocks the mechanism. So I just set about wiring that, because the wire to the door lock was still there. The wire to the office was still there, but I think it went up through what was the old reception roof and then across and then down into the office. And I think at some point when either the electricians were working up there or the new plasterboard roof was put in a couple of years back, the cable to it got cut because I was trying to connect up, and no matter what cable I used to connect together, it was not connecting in any way. So I came to the conclusion that it must have had the cable cut at some point, so I had to run a fresh cable, which is a bit of a bind, you know. I had to drill a hole through a wall. And then, oh, do be quiet. And then run this fresh cable through to the power supply. But there, got it all done now. So that's quite handy because from the office we can buzz people in. So new app, you can find out what they want and then say just come in and let them in the reception, and they can sort of hang around there with the hand gel, and we can zap them with the contactless temperature machine to tell you how hot people are, to see if they've got the temperature before they can come in and do anything. So yeah, that was pretty good. Got that done as well. Painted a splashback behind this sink at work. I found some blue gloss and thought I'd give that a go. Was, I've got to admit, a bit runny, that gloss. Not the super best, but it is 13 years old and I was just recycling old stuff, so I wasn't overready. It's made it pretty good at the moment. Another coat should make it nice and deeply blue. I quite like it. It's kind of aquatic, isn't it? Just next to a sink. Has that water feel. But main thing being gloss. Any of the mucky splashes we get on the wall will not just stain it and leave coffee marks and goodness knows what else on it. It'll just wipe away. So got that bit finished off as well, which I was quite pleased about. So generally a pretty steady away weekend. Back to work, like I say, it's been pretty damn busy. I seem to have a massive surge on eBay and Amazon orders for no particular reason. I don't know why, but of course that's lots and lots of extra work on small orders. Plus you're going to do all the labels, which I've had to do because the person who normally does those is off. Yeah, but you know, main customers have been coming back as well, so we've had some good big orders through for cafes and restaurants. A few more local Halifax customers back. Went down to Victoria Craft Beer yesterday with some coffees, so keep them happy. You know, like most businesses, they've kind of reformed, spread everything out, because it was always quite a compact, tight venue. So we have to remove tables to keep everyone well separated, and only do table service, that sort of thing, so people don't congregate around the bar. So yeah, seems like they're doing quite well. Then obviously we've got a new bit of equipment with the electric pallet stacker, so we've been putting that to good use, because we had a couple of pallets of coffee come in Monday, which we were able to offload those off the lorry. And then Tuesday we had a pallet delivery that would normally be handballed off, and we were able to pull that off, so that was a big time saver. And then Wednesday, another big pallet of coffee, although it was the maximum weight that this pallet stacker would take. It was 570 odd kilos, and it's a 600 kilo lift on the stacker. If you went the next size up, which is a ton, they're much bigger, chunky machines. It would have taken them half the warehouse. Plus then, I mean, like this, you need a good swing about to turn it around, because it's quite long. And that would need even more. We wouldn't have enough room in the warehouse to manoeuvre it. So obviously some limitations on the kit, but to be fair, we weren't helping it, because the Euro pallet was long ways on the wagon, and found it works a lot better when they're sideways on, because long ways it's just all the weight's too far back. So although it lifted the pallet, it wouldn't actually go backwards away from the lorry, it just span the wheel. I think it was just lifting the wheel bit up slightly with that weight, so there wasn't quite the grip there. So we had to offload 120 kilos, which fortunately it was 30 kilo sacks on top, so it was only 4 sacks. Not a difficult job, and then it moved it fine, so that was interesting. It'd be handy if we could have had it side on. I mean, he could have dropped it on the tail lift side on and we'd have been fine, but he couldn't, because it was right at the back of his wagon that was full of other stuff, and it'd have been one of those, if he'd come without it, we'd have been handballing everything off, which is really quite hard work. So no, that definitely has made a big improvement, and over time it'll just keep doing that. Also managing to stack up the green coffee that I'm storing more with it, so I have like 2 or 3 sacks high on a pallet, and then put another pallet on top, then another pallet on top. So again, something you couldn't even think of doing before. If you try and just throw sacks on top of sacks, eventually they just fall down, because coffee sacks are kind of a bit rounded. And then so by doing it this way with a pallet on top to sort of level it off before the next lot, it all sits nice and happy. And then when I want to get at some, you've only got to remove a pallet or a couple of pallets to get to the bottom section, as it were. So relatively straightforward, but a lot of it's what I've got bulk of. So it's stock, so I won't need it every week. It's going to be maybe a month or so before you need it. So that's worked out really well. I've got a lot more space now already, and then maybe got to start thinking about getting some more pallet racking in, so we can make use of it even more that way. But that might be something later on this year or start of next year. See how coronavirus takes us, I suppose, because it's still far from being anything like how it used to be, and I don't think we're going to see it this year, a significant sort of improvement, because although places are open, they're not doing anywhere near the volume that they would have been doing this time last year even. You know, because people are still not really sure about going out. They're going out, but not like they would do it all the time previously. You know, they're just maybe going out once a week, maybe just do a bit of shopping or go to somewhere, but there's a lot of mistrust about it still. And it's only going to get worse as it gets colder. They say the second wave will hit because as it's cooler and everyone's more indoors, and when it's raining like this, who's going to be outside? You're all going to be piled in somewhere, aren't you? And it'll sort of pick up that way. So I don't know. I suppose we'll just see what happens. Hive blockchain wise, I've been pretty steady this week. I've not done a great deal. A couple of posts here and there. So I did my vlog, Sublime Sunday. What did I do one? I think I might have done one on a competition that's sponsored, a raffle. Then one just an update on the UK Hive meetup. Because it's definitely bin day everywhere, isn't it? Bins all over. It's like bin city. Bit of a tight fit on here. So done that. Otherwise, everything else is running smoothly. Full nodes running smoothly. Witness is running smoothly. Regressed slightly up the table. I'm just nibbling at the toes of the top 50. I think I'm at 51 at the moment. So getting closer. I'm not sure if I'll actually ever make it. I don't know, it just seems like an impossible thing, and whenever I get that close, then someone below me gets voted higher, and then I'm back to square one. So I don't know really. So we're going to do Mr. and Alice words of wisdom, and then I shall be going into work, start my day. So my boy has renamed me on Siri again. Would you like to hear this week's name for me by my boy? Oh wow, Chica Bow Barber Labe, Going Chang Global Go blah 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 Blue Do You Do. That's my name. Oh, he's a nutcase, he really is. So, Mr. Nellis says, my things to talk about on your vlog, which is going to be on a Friday morning in the rain. He didn't say that. Me, as I have watched See No Evil, Hear No Evil. Don't remember that one actually, Richard. David Woodhead's 61st birthday on Saturday, and his next operation will be this Thursday. Alright. The Royal Shakespeare, as it has cancelled its theatre productions until 2021. Well, yes, I think all theatres are pretty much closed. Can you remember the former toy shop called the Jolly Giant, as it opened up in the 1980s, then closed down in 2002, which I remember going there in Leeds when I was little? No, I don't remember Jolly Giant at all, to be honest, Richard. Chris, as you mentioned, places easing in September, and we believe there can be a second wave of the coronavirus, as it is on the beginning or end of October. As well, a second wave, Richard, really, they just say it's going to be autumn into winter, when it gets cooler, or properly cooler, and people just tend to be indoors more. That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, that's opening. Oh, pardon me. So, yeah, that will be it for the second wave. We'll see it probably come in. Yeah, October, November, December, I don't know, somewhere around there. But I mean, it could be bedded in then till March, to be fair. So we'll just have to see how it all goes. I don't really think anyone knows what's going to happen. I'm not very convinced about any vaccines popping out in the near future, so who knows. Right, have a good weekend next week, and I'll catch you in next week's coffee vlog. Okay, see ya.